Now is the time. It's time for a FIFA update. It's about time. Man, I'm knackered. A lot of things going on. It's been probably about a week or so since I've done a video. I finished playing Life is Strange, and man, that is the most emotionally draining, intense game I have played in a long time. It's not much game, it's all story, but holy hell, what a story that is. I might do a series on my next playthrough in like 400 years when I'm ready to play that again. Seriously, it must be played once. I got it for free, so if you look around and pay attention to it, you can get it for cheap. It's worth it, whatever you pay. So anyways, yeah, Sims, Socks Do Not Included will come soon. For now we're going to do some FIFA. Time is going to be a little shorter. Football, soccer season has started up again. I've done 7 games in the last 24 hours, and I'm tired, especially after about a month break. So let's get into something a bit easier on the old cardiovascular system. So where are we sitting with Port Vale? Let's look at the league table first. There we are, just after halfway in the season. We're at the beginning of January. The transfer window's just opened up. Probably not getting into too much transfer stuff. I'll talk about what my goals are. We are sitting joint on points with Coventry. We only just got into the 7th, into the playoff positions by beating Luton Town, a couple of places below us. That was a good game. Team did well. We have conceded 1 more goal than Coventry, which is why we're sitting below them. There's been a lot of draws this season. Finding goals is difficult. I think there's only been a handful of games where I've won after scoring 2 goals or more. I think I've only scored 3 goals once. And I think I've only won by more than 1 goal once, maybe twice. This game is serious business. I think half the reason I'm having trouble with it is because it's difficult. The last, 5-10 games, once I found the rhythm, they actually weren't that hard. This one, you have to focus 100% every game, or it will get away from you. So with that, our goal is to stay in, or to fight for promotion. So that we are doing right now. We just need to keep it up. There's a we're gonna need to win a few games if we want to get further up to 5th or 4th, because Crawley and Cheltenham have a good lead on us. But once we break into their territory, we may still be close enough to the top 3 to get automatic promotion, but that may wreck us next season. We've been hanging out in the 10th through 12th position recently. We had a good streak near the beginning, and then it went pear-shaped. But then we started getting a few draws, and then a win, and then a draw, and then another win against Luton Town, so things may be looking up. Let's have a quick look at the squad since I haven't done any updates since the very beginning. Good old squad hub is good for that. So goalkeepers, I brought in this guy, Dimitar Evtimov, to replace, what's his name? Kel Roos, the guy who's on loan. He only had a very short loan, so he left in September. We needed someone to play instead of Rob Layton, because I wasn't too fond of him. He wasn't playing well at the beginning of the season. I've been playing him in the last few games. He's actually done quite well. So Layton and Evtimov are both fighting. Hornby's young, and we're not spending much time training him, so he'll probably ship out sometime. At right back, Wilson is doing well. Gibbons is doing spectacularly well for a 19-year-old. He has played phenomenally, good defending, and set up some goals from the right wing with his crosses. Center backs, Davis gets a game or 2 every now and then. He's not too pleased with it. Anthony Kay I've been using as a defensive mid because he's got an excellent strike and pretty good passing on the ball. He's very slow though, so I don't want him in the back because we get beat with pace a lot. Gunning, quick injury. He just picked one up in the last match against Luton, but pretty sure he'll be back in a few days. Tom Anderson, while slow, has been fairly solid. Not too much to go on him. Knops has been a backup at left back and in the middle when we need him. Denton's on loan. He plays at left back. I switch him and Kelly out. We've trained Kelly a lot, so he is pretty good at the moment. He's a bit pacier than Knops, and he'll stick around Kelly will stick around. He just needs an updated contract, but he can't be poached away because he's not old enough. Knops could be, and I'm fine to let him go because he wants too much money and he's not that good. The right mid position, Stobbs is a good backup to De Freitas, who's my main starter. Worrell I've been using as a center midfielder. He can play all across the midfield. There it is, looking for it. Right next to his, below his name and player number. He can play right mid, left mid, or center. He has been excellent in the central midfield. I think he is our top scorer so far this season. So he's a starter there. Harness gets the occasional game coming off the bench. He's quick, but that's about all he's got. De Freitas, hasn't been particularly impressive, but he's got time to grow yet. And I like having a left footer on the right wing, so he can cut in and take shots. Michael Tong, he's aging, and I haven't been playing him that much, but he did score an absolute belter against Luton Town to open the scoring. That was a phenomenal game, and he put in our absolutely cracking effort to get us off the mark in the second half. Ryan Flynn is really coming into a game. I bought him from Oldham. He's a little older, but he's quick, he's fairly strong, he's good on the ball, and he scored a couple goals, and he works pretty hard. Harry Middleton, he doesn't play up to his 62 rating. I don't know if I'm going to keep him or what we're going to do with him just yet. Danny Pugh pretty much on the fringes, and I can't remember if I got him a new contract just to keep him around because he accepted less wages. Some players when they get old will do that. Figuera, fairly solid at tackling, good passer, but can't finish for beans and isn't particularly quick, so he's doing his job. He's an acceptable buy. I picked him up right at the beginning. I think he might have been the only signing of the intro video. Montano, he's got a few goals. He is quite classy. He scores from headers, he scored from volleys, he scores from the ground. He's pretty versatile up front. I think he's worth a little bit more than the 62 rating. Let's see, the attacking mids. Whitfield, his loan's about to expire, and he has not played much recently. He's just not the kind of player we need. He's all touch and not much speed. He's agile, but his passing shooting isn't that great, so we don't need him. Has not been playing much at all. Johnny Goddard can play all across the midfield, attacking mid, left or right. So I've been using him as a left mid, as backup for Montano. He's not that good coming off the bench, but when he starts, he actually plays some solid games. He's set up a couple of great goals, swinging in crosses from there. Dan Turner, we have trained him up a lot, and he has been solid. He doesn't score many goals, but he sets up quite a few. He's excellent at pulling defenders out of position and creating spaces for the other players. He has done quite well recently. Raquel Pike is on loan. He hasn't been playing much, not important. Barnett was my main goal scorer when I was still figuring things out. He hasn't played a whole lot. I've switched formations to a 4-4-2, playing Pope and Turner up front. Barnett has been decent. He's a bit quicker than Pope, not quite as strong. So he's good as a lone striker. Whenever I do need to change things up and do a 4-1-4-1, he's normally my go-to striker there. Pope, he has not been doing as well as I would hope, but paired with Turner, he's doing a lot better. He needs someone to work with up front. He's not quick enough to be the target striker by himself. And then there's this guy, Christopher Schulze. I sent out one of those future star scouts, and he came back with this guy. I've trained him up a little bit. He came into me at 60, and he has some awesome potential. He is, let's get a quick look at his stats here. So he's moderately quick at the moment, not much strength, needs to work on his stamina. He's a classic winger, left or right sided. Is he, I can't remember if he's left or right footed. I'll see that matters in a minute. Look at his long shots. It's his highest stat with curve, which could make him deadly from long range. He's great at crossing as well and decent at dribbling, so I'm working to train him up, although I'll probably put him on the back burner for a bit because he'll get some game time. I just pulled him up to the senior squad because our team is wrecked after playing a game 2 days ago, and we have another important game. So what else do we have to look at? I'm not going into transfers just yet. I already got through the players, so you know who I've signed. Let's have a look at the youth. Not that one, though. This one. So we just pulled in Schulze. And my two scouts first. Their scout reports are expired, so I pulled in everyone that might be decent. First one is another left mid, Benjamin Johansson. Came from Denmark. He looks okay at the moment. Good acceleration. He's probably a good dribbler, but his technical stats are pretty garbage. He will need a lot of help in training before he's viable. Benjamin Olsen, probably about the same. Fairly agile, but not a whole lot of technical stats. His ball control is decent. We'll train him up and see where we can slot him. Alfie Davis, I am excited for this guy, although his potential has dropped in the last month a lot. He is, fairly quick. He needs some work on his stamina as well, but his ball control and his ability to control it are phenomenal. His finishing is really bad for a striker, but that we can work on. He could be, honestly, he's a left-footed young English striker. He reminds me a lot of Isaac King from the last Newport County series. So hopefully he can live up to that name. Taylor Watson, he has amazing potential. Not looking super great right now. He's got moderate physical stats. He's set up to be a defensive mid, but it looks like he's actually geared more towards attacking. He's moderate acceleration, agility, not much in the way of strength, which you like in a defensive mid, and he's not particularly tall for winning headers. His free kick ability is the best on the team at the moment. He's got excellent passing range. His finishing could use some work. He's a crosser. He can play all across the midfield. I just don't think he has the size or strength to be a defensive mid, and his tackling's not that great either. Last one, Oliver Henriksen. Still a decent potential on this guy. Not amazing at the moment, but he's a bit quicker than the rest of the guys. Center forward, I'm not sure we have used for an actual center forward role. They're not particularly common in the more recent games. His technical stats, decent at bending the ball, but that's about the only reasonable stat he has. We'll take a quick look at the finances. How are they doing? We're making a profit, which is good. Let's look at these. We're making most of our money from match tickets, which is excellent. That's one. I think that's one of our goals. We want to sell out 5. Is it 5 home games over the season, or is it 11? It's 11. I think we've only done 3. But as the team starts getting towards the top of the table, we'll draw in bigger crowds. What else do we have? The expenses, mostly player wages. I'm looking to get those down because we have some really highly paid players. Tom Pope was the other player that was able to get a new contract at lower wages, so that's good. The rest of them, if I didn't know I wanted to keep them, I'm just letting their contracts expire or let them get poached away on a free transfer. How much are we making in sales? Worrell, Gunning, and Anderson are top guys. Wow, there's decent money in match tickets, actually. No wonder we're doing quite well in that category. Ooh, and while I'm here, this is amazing. Youth facilities cost so much less in this game. I'm not sure if you factor into how good the players you have or what league you're in, but it costs only 3K per month. 64 was obscene. I mean, think about it. That's pretty much you think about that as your wages. Paying $64,000 a player last year for a youth player is ridiculous. Now it's a little bit different. You pay their wages and you pay a little bit in youth facilities, but 3K a month per player is fairly negligible, and you don't have to negotiate a contract when you do want to bring them to the senior squad. You just hit them and boom, they're in. I literally brought Schultz in today, this exact day, because I thought I needed him, and he was there ready for selection. So a bit more realistic on that, and I like the way that works. We'll end on board expectations, how we're doing overall. Youth development, we got a midfield player. That's all they wanted, which is we're at 3 out of 13 matches sold out. So that's fine. We're not doing continental. Domestic success, we got to the right stage of the FA Cup, and we need to fight for promotion. We are in that position right now, but it's a bit edgy at the moment. Depending on how the next few games go, we need to cement our position in those playoff spots. Financial, if we can sell a player or two, I think we'll be fine here. We're going to keep the salary growth fine. I don't plan on buying any big players that are going to increase the wages, because of course that would take out my transfer and wage budget, the allocated funds, the top of those two goals. So yes, that is where we stand. I hope you have enjoyed this update on FIFA. I don't think I plan on doing many more, maybe just 2 or 3 updates per in-game year. This one I want to focus on playing it. Now that I'm getting used to the fact that I cannot win every game, no matter how well I do, the game just will not allow it. It's better for me to just take it at my own pace. It gets frustrating when I have to play too many matches where I have no hope of winning in a row. So, thank you for watching. Let me know what you think of the team and how I've done so far. I know there hasn't been much in between this and the introduction video for this year. But I'll probably put another update out once I finish this season. As well as all the other Sims, Oxford not included. Darkest Dungeon was the game I forgot up to in some last video. I'll start that one soon, as well as Prison Architect, I'm sure. But we'll work on those other 2 that I've got going already, Sims and Oxford not included, first. Thank you for watching, and I will see you all in the next video. Peace out, homies.